Hey everybody, my name is Steve, and I've been watching a bunch of videos today, probably, I don't know, maybe 10, ranging, short mostly, not shorts, but short videos on doing a YouTube channel, how to do a YouTube channel. I've watched several, probably 4 or 5, of people who literally got started this year, older folks. I'm a little older. You might not be able to tell, but I am. I'm a little older. So I started watching some of those folks. Then I watched some people that have done it for a while. And they're all good because they all know more than I do. I don't know anything. But here's the one thing that I found that they said, especially the newer folks. They said, just start. Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter what topic you do it on. Just make a video. Get used to putting yourself on camera and talking to people, you in there, and just see how it goes. Get used to talking on camera. Get used to seeing yourself on camera. I'm doing the, whatever it is, the selfie view, front-facing camera. So, this is, for me, is in terms of being a YouTuber, this is video zero. I don't even know if I'll use it. I may just, upload it, look at it on my laptop and say, what a piece of garbage. So I have no idea. There's a bunch of topics, I'm kind of a generalist, always have been. There's a bunch of topics that I'm interested in and things that I could do, selling on eBay or Amazon, eBay. Talk about music, not from the perspective of a musician, but just somebody who enjoys good music. I'd like to talk about the music that I like to listen to, because I know it's not a large community. I used to hate that word, but that's kind of where we're at today. It's a community. If you belong to a group, it's a community. It's not a group, it's not a tribe, it's a community. So right now, you're my community. I'm looking at my camera, so I guess my camera's my community for right now. But so I just want to do this to kind of get used to it. Like I said, I may never even post this. I may never let this see the light of day. It may be just too embarrassing. You always had that dream when you're young about you show up at school and get off the school bus and you realize when you walk into the school building that you've got your underwear on, and you're very embarrassed because you forgot to put your pants on, apparently. I think every kid has that dream. I'm a little older than 5 or 6, so I haven't had that dream in a while, but I know I did a long time ago. I think I remember that. I'm pretty sure. But here, one thing I know, because as I said, I'm a little bit older. Some people consider me a senior. Who knows? But that's a community. The retirement, let's call it the retirement community. Senior community. Either one, take your pick. I don't care. You could be senior and not be retired, and just retire. That means you're tired again. I retire. So because I've done something, I guess officially, I haven't worked for a company as an independent contractor since 1921 or 22. I can't really remember. And I can talk about what I did then too, because that was the last job. I essentially, had 4 careers, 4 different fields that I worked in from the time I got out of the Navy. Went back to college because I stunk at it the first time. I wasn't a good student. And then, went in the Navy and learned, hey, I love to read. I took Shogun with me. My dad had read Shogun and said, you ought to read this. It's a really good book. And when I was 12, he told me, you need to read The Scarlet Pimpernel. It's a really good book. And he was right. I read it and I loved it. So when he said, you should take Shogun, because I was going to Japan after I got a boot camp and then my A school in the Navy, I was going to Japan. I was going to be on the flagship of the 7th Fleet. This was a long time ago. But I really got into reading, especially my second year. I did 2 years on that ship. My second year, I think I literally read a book a week. I think I read, because I counted them. That was my goal. It's like, I want to read a book a week. So I think I read 52 books that year. I think I only took maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks to leave, and we were getting 4 weeks per year at that point. So, but anyway, it's going to be retirement. Again, a lot of different topics. I'm hoping that somebody will say, well, what about this? I can talk about health all day long. I have never had a catastrophic, illness, the big C. Nope, not me. I don't have Alzheimer's. Last time I went, well, actually one of the first times I went to see the guy who is now my neurologist, I said, what about, I want to get tested for Alzheimer's because that scares the heck out of me. He was like, well, we can do it now with the blood test. I said, get out of here. And he said, no, seriously. So I said, well, good. Let's set that up. Take the blood, do it now, or make an appointment, whatever I need to do. Let me know. And so I did. They took the blood, and he said, you don't have any of the markers for Alzheimer's. And I thought, whew, thank goodness. But then he also did a brain scan. He said, well, you had a stroke. And I was like, you're nuts. Get out. Where'd you get your degree from? Really? I haven't had a stroke. I had no symptoms, nothing. Not, and I thought, well, sometimes people, my dad had a TIA one time, and he got kind of dizzy and weak and apparently like fell down in a parking lot. But he was fine after about 10 minutes, and apparently he'd had a TIA, so I thought maybe that was it. He said, no, you've had a stroke. And he showed me the scan. He said, see that white dot in the middle of your brain? That's a stroke. And I thought, wow, that was weird. But then I remembered what might have happened that was the symptom or the manifestation of the stroke. I can talk about that sometime. I can also talk, I've had a lot of stuff structurally. Two things. Number one, skin cancer. Okay. And I've had all of them. I've had a bunch of basal cell, bunch of precancerous that, they just freeze those off with the liquid nitrogen. I've had a bunch of basal cell. I've had 2 carcinomas removed and 1 melanoma. But no recurrence of, I'm supposed to go back every 6 months to the dermatologist, and she's really good. I like her a lot. I got this weird skin disease, and she stayed on it because I've been to other dermatologists. They tell me, well, it's a general, I can't remember what the word for it is. There's that Alzheimer's I don't have kicking in, but it's kind of a general allergy. And because they did the patch test where they put 3 patches on your back, and they each have, I think, 12 little circles in them, and every one of them they put a different chemical, pollen, whatever. And they said, no, you don't have any allergies. So they called it like a generalized allergy, non-specific maybe. That wasn't it though. And again, once they had done that and gotten to that point of saying it's just a non-specific allergy, they just kind of quit. They seemed to lose interest. It's to them the job was done. And I thought, well, I still have the symptoms, just itching like crazy, mostly on my lower legs. Red dots, almost like pustules, but then they were just red dots, and the itching was driving me insane. And they just didn't seem to care to really continue to try and diagnose what it was, because I kept using this medicine. It was a topical that I put on, and it helped a lot, but everything has side effects, and even something like that has side effects. So we can talk about skin cancer. I'm an expert when it comes to having it. All of my medical problems, most of them, the vast majority, have been structural. Musculoskeletal, I have had both shoulders and both hips replaced, and I had all that done by the time I was like 66, I think. I've had total of 4 back surgeries, 3 of them since 2019, 3 since 2019. The last one, and again, I just had some structural, vertebrae that were like this. Instead of sitting one on top of the other, they're like this and like that. And I had, S1 through L4 or L1 through L5? I can't remember. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I got diagnosed with osteoarthritis a long time, well before I had my first hip replacement, which I think was 2015, I believe. So I've had a bunch of structural stuff done. The last time I got the last back surgery that I was hopeful for, I actually went to Houston. My sister had 2 back surgeries by a pretty well-renowned neurosurgeon. The guy's written articles, he's published, and I'd read about him, and she told me about it. She said, yeah, he's great. So I went to this guy with every I like the guy that I had here, but when I was visiting her in Houston, I thought, okay, well, because nothing had worked up until that point. And so when I went to Houston, I said, all right, let me go see this guy. So I did. Went to see him a couple times. Finally, after the scans and all that stuff, MRIs, we set up a surgery. And I think the surgery was like on December 1st that year. And this would have been 2019. Yeah. And I lost it. Essentially, I lost almost a year of my life. My back hurt so bad, I couldn't stand up for more than 3 minutes at a time. Standing just in one spot. So I went to Walmart. I had to return something. I went to return something one time. So I'm standing there in the customer service area, and I'm like third in line. And all of a sudden, I just had to kneel down. I was only standing there for about 2 or 3 minutes, and I had to kneel down because my back hurt so bad. I didn't want to stand up, and it was truly painful getting back to my car. If I was sitting down, I was fine, but standing up, that's tough. I probably shouldn't do that because you think I'm picking my nose, but I'm not. I'm scratching my mustache. So we could talk about all that stuff. There's some other topics too, but I just want to do this first one to kind of get it out of the way, my initiation. And again, may never see the light of day. I have no idea, but we'll find out together. And like I said, I've watched some really, really good people today. I really have. I appreciate, what they've done, the work that they put into it. And really, I guess it seems like it doesn't seem to be a problem for me because I'm going without a script. I don't have any notes, got no teleprompters. You can see that, right? No, you can't. I don't have a problem talking. I was a thespian in high school, okay? So being on camera doesn't really bother me. I'm married. Second time, and really not for that long, come to think of it. Probably shouldn't talk about that, at least not with my wife approving what I talk about. And she'll let me know with a fry pan whether or not she agrees. Just kidding. I don't have to use boyfriend abuse makeup or wife abuse makeup, I guess. So anyway, I hope I can't get in trouble for saying that, can I? I'm joking. Hey, YouTube, kidding. Stop. So anyway, we'll see. This could end up being my first, published video, and it might not be. I got a bunch to learn in terms of editing. But again, the people that I watched today said, don't worry about any of that stuff. Start with the camera and a microphone. I don't even have the microphone. I have to buy it today. I'll probably, go to Walmart and get one of I think they call them lavaliers, little lapel microphones with the little fuzzball on it to keep the wind from making that horrible sound that's so distracting. I wish people wouldn't do that. So they said a camera and a microphone is all you need to get started. Don't even worry about editing. So I'm not going to worry about it, maybe later, because I need to learn how to do that. So this could be my first experiment in editing. That's that picture up there. I was going to say, if you see a little black dog getting in the frame, but he hasn't because he's laying down. Apparently he's tired now. He went for a walk, so he's exhausted. That's my little buddy Petey, our miniature, although he does not look very miniature to me, not at 25 pounds. He is not a mini dachshund. He's a fat dachshund is what he is. And my wife keeps feeding him junk. I stopped feeding him potato chips or whatever it is that you're snacking on at night, popcorn. Don't give him that. He doesn't need that. But she loves him, and he's my little buddy. He's her everything. So anyway, this has been fun. Hope everybody's doing well. Did I say my name is Steve? My name is Steve. I think, but again, even in this YouTube channel, I think I have a channel under Wonderbag. That's a long story. I can explain that too. That goes back a long time, 50 years. So anyway, we'll see what happens. And if you're going to try this, I would encourage you, like me, pick your phone up. I put it on a tripod and put it on video. Don't put it on photo and think you're recording. You're not. Put it on video, hit record, and then just go. Cut loose. Have a ball. Have a great day.